Small 15-minute time limit match. And we're looking forward to a good one here. Introducing at 227 pounds from Huntsville, Alabama, with his manager Jimmy Hart carrying the stick, Beautiful Bobby Eden. Going against him from Australia, 214 pounds, the superstar, Bill Dundee. This match, one fall, 15-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
Okay, we're about ready for the bell to go. Bell time, and here we go. Dundee and Beautiful Bobby. I'm going to ask a friend of mine, Jimmy Cornette, to come in and sit down. I think many of you folks who've been around wrestling for quite some time have seen Jimmy, and if you don't know him by name, you certainly know him by seeing him there with that camera. Jimmy is one of the most prolific photographers in all of the wrestling world. He's had many, many stories and items in Wrestling News magazine. He has been kind of the spark plug behind Championship Wrestling magazine. And now, Jimmy, as I said, I've known for a good many different years. Jimmy and his mother, and they're at all of the matches. We see him around, and Jimmy has told me that he's going to get into the wrestling business and the managerial end of it. And, Jimmy, I think it's awfully interesting that you are going to take that avenue of wrestling.
Well, Lance, first of all, I appreciate the opportunity to come out here today, and I always enjoy it, especially with the introductions you give me. And that's exactly right. I've made the statement around the area several times. I'll make it here again for the benefit of the people that don't know about it. All my life, I've loved professional wrestling, and since I'm not big enough to be a wrestler myself, the only way I'll be directly involved is to be a manager. Now, you know, the word manager brings up a lot of negative connotations with people. They think of Jimmy Hart standing right over here, and Jim Dillon. And I don't want to be like that because, Lance, you see, like I've said before, I have an advantage. I come from a wealthy family. My mother has money. And I want to use this advantage to get into the wrestling profession.
Well, I think that's fine, Jim. Let me ask you this. Who do you like in terms of wrestlers that you would like to try to sign up?
Well, as I've said, since I'm investing my mother's money in this, and she said that I could do it if I wanted to, I don't want to invest in someone like Bobby Eaton, Sweet Brown Sugar, people like that. I don't want to invest my mother's money in trash, actually. What I'm looking for, and I've been talking to different wrestlers, including Jerry Lawler, Bill Dundee, Steve Kern, Stan Lane, anyone that I think I could get along with personally as well as professionally, because I want someone with some class, and Hartsmen don't have it.
Well, then, as I understand it, you will be in competition with Jimmy Hart. You won't be on the same side as the First Family.
Well, I sincerely hope it won't be competition because I don't want him to be any competition to me. I'd like to run him completely out of this area along with anyone else. J.J. Jones, whatever.
In the ring, Bill Dundee and Beautiful Bobby.
See that? The guy's a loud mouth.
Yes. I don't think anybody would argue with you that. Bill Dundee and Beautiful Bobby in action up there as we are sitting talking with Jimmy Cornette, who, well, let me ask you, have you gotten into any serious negotiations yet? Are you close to signing anybody, Jimmy?
I've been talking to a lot of people. I don't really know whether I should call any negotiations serious yet or not.
Put on a rope, pardon me, just a moment in there as the Bill Dundee got a 2 count on him. But Billy was pretty well at home as he had that foot up there on the ropes. Beautiful Bobby now with that right hand clobbering away. And the referee calls for a break, gets one right back to the throat. And the referee is going to get another break in here, Jimmy.
Dundee's a fantastic wrestler. There's almost no way to beat him. You can't keep his shoulders down. But as I was saying before, I don't want to call any negotiations serious yet because I want to keep all options open. But what I've done is I've contacted a number of people that have been in the sport for quite some time in an advisorial capacity, to be an advisor, trainer, whatever, because there's a lot of aspects of the business I don't know about. The business dealings, contracts. I know the sport. The business negotiations is what I'm going to have to learn about.
Well, I would say this to anybody who's getting into a different, new kind of business. I certainly am not telling you what to do, but you want to be careful when you invest your mother's money into buying talent in there. So you'll need to know a lot about it, I think.
I
Jimmy.
definitely want to be careful, but as I've said, I've loved professional wrestling all my life, and this is my dream to be directly involved. And as such, since I've followed it this long and studied it, I know at least the professional side of most of the wrestlers currently active in the country. I've just got to find out about the personal side because I've said I want someone with class. I don't want to invest my mother's money foolishly. But when I went to her and I said, Mama, I want to be a manager. This is what I want to do with my life. She said, whatever makes you happy, because this is the only thing, Lance, in my life that I've not gotten that I wanted. And now I'm going to have this, too, with her help.
Well, that's very fortunate, Jimmy. Bill Dundee, boy, I'll tell you what, he and Eaton have had one of those classic fireball matches, and we knew it. Jimmy Hart up in the ring. Now, let me advise you one thing. Don't take up any of that. Oh, here it comes. Sweet brown sugar. Now,
no class. This is exactly what I was talking about. This is ridiculous.
disqualification will be against Beautiful Bobby, and the winner is going to be Bill Dundee by disqualification. But Sugar comes in, jumps in with Bobby Eaton and Jimmy. Here comes Steve Kern. Terry, go run off, Jim. Now, they're not going to bother you over here. Just stick around.
I don't really want him to get close to me over here.
There goes. Well, I'll tell you, they couldn't have had two better guys come out there, Steve Kern and Terry Taylor. Steve, thank you for breaking up that Terry also. Thank you very much.
Something last night, a guy back there on Hart's side is kind of cutting his body. You know, every time since I've been here, I've seen guys jumping in constantly. Bill Dundee asked us to watch this match because he's worried about somebody jumping his back. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I got a message for you, Hart, and I got a message for them two geeks that work for you. Anytime you want to jump in the ring, come on out here and jump in the ring with me and Taylor, because we're ready. And I'll tell you something else. If you want to jump in on anybody's match, you just be watching behind your back, because we're here, and every time you get an opportunity, you're going to see our faces, because we're going to be jumping in right behind you.
Steve Kern and Terry Taylor looking for those Southern Tag belts, and boy, let me tell you, they are primed, two real physical specimens, and you saw Eaton and Sugar decide it was time to get it on and get out of here, so by golly, they did that. Yeah, Jerry. Appreciate you coming out, too, Jerry, and helping out there.
Bill's fine and everything. I wanted to... Could you come around here for a second, Jimmy Cornette? I wanted to talk for just a second with Jimmy Cornette, if we could.
Well, we've been talking with Jimmy about his career.
Well, you know,
trying to get into...
Now, a lot of people don't know Jimmy Cornette yet, but Jimmy's been around wrestling, as he says, for a long, long time, and he's probably the greatest... Jimmy, you're probably the greatest wrestling photographer that I've ever seen. And I know, I get a lot of pictures from him. I have a whole room, the entire room is wallpapered with my pictures that Jimmy Cornette has taken, and he's got money. You know, he's talking about money, I know, because he charges enough for those pictures, believe me. So, but, and his mother, you talked about your mother. I heard you talking about your mother. That's really nice. It's really nice when a guy feels that way about his mother, that he would come out here in front of thousands of people and talk about it like that. His mother is loaded, Lance. She is rich. She is so rich. She's got alligator bags under her eyes. That's how much money she's got. I want to say. Well, now,
it's kind of
a
low term, Jerry.
No, I'm not. I'm only kidding about that. But she's a fine lady, and she really, Jimmy and her are real close, and I understand that she is going to finance your endeavor. And
that's what Jimmy was telling us.
Well, that is wonderful. Does she also pick out your clothes and everything for you, Jimmy?
Well, she helped me. She helped me.
I'm just kind of kidding with Jimmy. I know she helped you. I can tell she helped you because I looked at the outfit, and the first thing that is a dead giveaway, I want the camera, if you can, to kind of get down low. You remember, Lance, when you were a little kid, and your mother say, okay, time to go to the shoe store, and you'd say, all the kids got Nikes or tennis shoes. I want some tennis shoes. But no, your mother would always buy you a pair of shoes like this. Look at this.
Oh, Jerry, you're terrible.
Did you get a shot of the shoes? Come on, just real quick. Have they got a shot of them yet? There you go. All right. Those
Jerry.
are typically bought mother
fault.
dress shoes. And the boxer shorts. Does she buy you the boxer shorts and
Well,
all
I've
that
got a
stuff?
couple of pair, but no.
Okay.
No, he's a good
Come
guy.
on, now are you making fun of
Let me.
No, I'm not making
wait a
fun of
minute.
you.
Let me get back into something. I know you're a particularly good friend of Jimmy's, and
The reason I want to come out, I'm just kind of teasing with him a little bit. I think a lot of people, because he says he wants to be a manager, got the wrong impression about Jimmy. Jimmy is a fine young man. How old are you, Jimmy?
he is.
I'm 20.
He's 20 years old, and his mother is taking good care of him up till now.
Jerry, okay.
He gets something wrong with him, she coddles him, pampers.
You
The rear
are
end thermometer's a little bit
incorrigible.
too
That's
much
what you
for Jimmy,
are.
but that's okay. Everything's
on.
fine.
Let me ask you this. Now, how about signing? He's a good friend of yours. Jimmy's ready to go. He's expressed an interest in it. I know he's talked to you and mentioned something to you about it.
No, he talked to me.
about signing up with it.
Well, like I said, Jimmy is a fine young man, and I'm sure that he and his mother probably know a lot about wrestling from taking pictures and everything. But I haven't had that good luck lately with managers, so probably, Jimmy, if you look, find somebody else would be good. There's a lot of guys with the kind of money you got.
I would pay any price for you because you are the best. I've been a fan of yours for a long time. You know that.
Okay, but I'll pass on that offer. I appreciate it anyway, Jimmy. Thank you. Anyway, I just wanted to come out and have a little fun with
Okay,
you.
thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Jerry, for being out here. And you got. Will you get out of here? Jimmy, thanks for coming out. Best of luck, and however it goes, buddy. We got to take time out, and we're going to be back in just a moment. Here comes Jimmy with a big Ugandan giant. And here he is, Jimmy Hart.
Live and in living
And
color.
Kamala.
What
That
Jimmy
is
Hart
true.
wants, Jimmy Hart gets, man. You know what? I really realized the man was mistreated. Can you imagine? This man, Kamala, the Ugandan giant, has never, ever tasted a watermelon in his life. He don't even know what a watermelon tastes like or looks like. Can you imagine depriving this giant of that? Can you imagine? Kamala has never even been with a woman in the United States. He hadn't even partied with any girls or anything. And you know the parties the First Family has, Russell. Can't you imagine Kamala, a big watermelon party with Kamala and all those pretty little girls in a big party? This man will go crazy. Watermelons and women, Kamala. Woo! My champion.
I'm still
Can you
waiting
imagine
to
that?
find out. I'm kind of getting the
Well-
gist of it here.
well-
It's how you got Kamala.
Well, I'll tell you later, but let me just say something right now. What I want to talk about is to you, Dutch Mantell. Now, Dutch, I want you to pay attention. If he's not looking in the back, somebody please get him back there because this is important, baby. When Dutch Mantell was in the family, Dutch had the Southern belt and the Mid-America belt. Am I right or wrong?
That's true.
And he was my first lieutenant when I had the family back then when Dutch was with us. But then Dutch, he went and started talking to Lawler and Dundee and all these people, and they swayed him over, and they said, man, you don't need to be with Jimmy Hart because Jimmy Hart will cheat you. He is no good. But now, where's Dutch Mantell? He is in Never Never Land. He don't have no belt. All he's got is that old whip of his. So what I'm trying to say, Dutch, is you need to be in the family, baby. I'll tell you exactly what happened. Listen, think about it, Dutch. Now think. Why in the world are you fighting Kamala on TV today? Do you have a championship match with him? You don't? Well, let me tell you why. The exact reason why everything's like it is now, baby. Eddie Marlin and Dundee are just like that. Just like that. They live close to each other. Matter of fact, Dundee cuts Eddie Marlin's grass. He polishes his car. He goes over to Eddie Marlin and says how pretty that big old pimply-faced, ugly wife of his looks. He goes, oh, she looks so thin. She's so gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? And I can just see him out there now polishing Eddie Marlin's car, polishing around. And he said, you know, Eddie, come here, Eddie. You know, Eddie's hard of hearing, so we had to call him way over to him and said, Eddie, listen, man, I just been thinking. As a matter of fact, I love this car, but, you know, I've been thinking that Dutch Mantell, boy, he is pretty tough, you know, and it's a rough match. And I ain't scared of him now, but I just thought, why don't you maybe put him and Kamala on TV, and maybe Kamala might hurt Dutch, and then when I fight Dutch this week, Dutch, man, he won't even be able to get in the ring with me. What do you think, Eddie? And old Eddie, kind of being senile in the first place, right, fell right into it. So that's why that match is here, Dutch, because Dundee got to Eddie Marlin, baby. So I'm giving you a chance. You're a smart man, brother. You're a smart man. You need to be with Jimmy Hart in the First Family. If you come with me, baby, look, I've got Kamala. Look at it, eating sugar. I've got the world at my feet, man. We have got you. We are the future. So, Dutch, be a a smart man, baby. Smart enough.
Jimmy,
Get on the
will
right
you
side.
stop? We got a match.
I don't
coming
care
up
what
with
you do. You
Kamala
know who you're
Dutch,
talking
man.
to. Evidently, you don't.
I don't have to
Dutch,
listen to
Dutch,
it, Jimmy.
come out here,
No.
baby. I want to see. Come on.
We're going to get the match underway, Jimmy. I don't want to hear it.
Come on.
Will you stop trying to monkey up the show and just get on up there? We got a match.
Show.
Dutch
This
man
thing's been
talent.
so dull in the
Kamala
first
got a
place
match.
till I came out here.
Yeah,
Come on,
boy.
Dutch. Think about it, baby. You got a match. You're going to get hurt, brother. All right.
You got-
All right. I knew he was a smart man.
Well, he's got a match coming up there with him.
Super.
We got the match coming up, Jimmy, so just leave it alone.
You know, Hart, a lot of people trying to sign me. Jimmy Cornette's trying to sign me. You're trying to sign me. But I'm a free agent, Hart. I'm my own man. And you're not a dumb man. You're a very smart man. But I'm going to say one thing, Hart. I wouldn't sign with you if you were the last man on earth. I would not sign with you because I was with you one time and I got screwed around, right or not? And I don't have nothing to do with it. But you are right about one thing. There's no need me to wrestle Kamala today because no belts are up. Nothing can be accomplished. So he's right about one thing. I'm not wrestling Kamala. Not today.
Hey, come on, Dutch. Now, you listen to this jerk right here. Come on back. You got a match scheduled in it.
Who did you jerk?
Somebody get Eddie, will you? Come on, Dutch. You got a match scheduled.
I can't believe that.
Dude,
I gave him the
stand out
chance of
here
a
with your big
lifetime,
mouth
man.
and
Oh,
rub
big
it in.
mouth. Don't call me big mouth, big nose. What do you want to say that for,
We had a
man?
match lined up in here with Dutch Mantell and Kamala, and now Dutch. Can we get Eddie
That's
out
right,
here?
Dutch. You can stay in the Stone Age, baby, or you can be with a new wave, but that's the last time I asked him to do something.
Eddie. Dutch went walking out and said he's not going to wrestle.
I can't imagine him backing out of the match, but I'll deal with him later. But Jerry Lawler has agreed to take his place, so we can still have a match.
Let me just say a few words here to you, Mr. Hart, you little stinking slimy wimp, and listen up. Now, you can run all over the country and you can tell everybody that you won that belt for me, but you couldn't beat your way out of a wet paper bag, punk. I'm the one that beat that big Ubangi, and I did it then, and I can do it any day of the week. Do you understand that? Now, I'll tell you what I'm fixing to do, Hart. I'm fixing to show you. You just take those little dark glasses off, get those little beady eyes of yours trained on that ring, because I'm fixing to take that big black jerk, and I'm going to beat that paint off his face, and then I'm going to wet his lips, and I'm going to stick him to that wall right over there, and then, Hart, I'm going to take you, and I'm going to do the same thing to you. Do you understand that?
Okay. Well, the match is getting a Dave. I guess we got a change in it.
All right.
This is no bad substitution in here as the match is underway very quickly.
No introductions really needed. Lawler out of Memphis, of course, is 228 pounds. Kamala, 380 out of Uganda. It is a one-fall match, 15 minutes to time limit.
Lawler not even in his wrestling attire. And he is really... There comes Steve Kern and Terry Taylor in after Brown Sugar. And the King being held aloft and dumped down on the board. Look out. Yeah, watch the cameras.
Kern and Eaton, Terry Taylor and Sugar battling on the floor while Kamala works on Lawler in the ring.
Taylor and Sugar. Kern and Eaton going at it in there. Meanwhile, Kamala up with the King. And he is 4-2. Lawler. Jerry down in the middle of the floor.
Hart called Eaton and Sugar out.
Kamala up there with that spear. Holding Terry Taylor and Steve Kern off. restored as Hart starts out, as Terry Taylor and Steve Kern are helping Jerry Lawler out of there. Well, it'd have to be a disqualification, but in typical Hart fashion, once again, the First family interrupts the match and jumps into the ring, Dave. Let's take time out and see if we can get some order restored completely. We got other big action coming up, and we'll be back to it in a moment. Tag team out of Florida going against the champions, Sweet Brown Sugar and Beautiful Bobby Eaton. Let's take a look at it. In the corner, you can do, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Did Taylor nail him with a forearm? I mean, yes. He really pounded Bobby Eaton in the corner. Terry from Vero Beach, Florida, California, Florida. Catches Eaton as he went over the ropes on the leapfrog, went over to the rope. Steve dramatically showing he was touching the corner, but he still was able to hit him with that forearm. Sugar holds up. And Terry Taylor drop kicks him into Kern, and Kern still gets him with a forearm. Hangs on to a side headlock with Beautiful Bobby. Over the top comes, and as Eaton was going to pull a similar trick that Taylor pulled, Terry slipped out of the way. Eaton in the wrong corner had his hand up to tag, and Steve Kern did the tagging, but right on the button. Shoots a right, takes a forearm. Whip into the corner. Kern. Monkey flip as he tagged Terry Taylor on the way down. Beautiful drop kick. Sugar runs into Eaton. Taylor, another monkey flip. And Kern and Terry Taylor looking very hot. Whips around, going for the abdominal stretch. Can't get a good hook on Beautiful Bobby. Jimmy Hart jumped up on the ring apron while the referee was separating Sugar and Kern. He nailed Taylor in the back. And now Sugar takes a tag and tags back out to Eaton. You see, Hart figured it was worth the gamble to do the damage on Taylor. If he got disqualified, they still keep the belt. Beautiful Bobby now. Going after Terry Taylor. Slam by Beautiful Bobby, and Taylor down underneath the ropes is picked up by Sweet Brown Sugar. Sugar whips him in. Big clothesline, and boy, did he string him out. Wow. Sugar chin locks him, sits down on the spine, and Steve Kern comes in, kicks him right out of there. 8.5 minutes in, and Steve Kern trying to give Terry a little pep talk over there. Taylor puts a foot in the midsection to Eaton, but Sugar headbutts him from outside the ropes. And Beautiful Bobby, a knee to the midsection. Tag on Sugar. Double team. Team and Eaton is shooed out of there by the referee. But he doesn't go and drops an elbow and a leg from Sugar. Steve Kern gets him out of there. Another big elbow from Sugar. Tag on Eaton. Kern in the ring without benefit of tag, clubbing away, and there goes Taylor over the top rope while the referee was in between Kern and Eaton. At the 10-minute mark, Terry Taylor blistered and put down on the mat where Eaton and Sugar double teaming again. Sugar, man, you can hear that right hand popping Terry Taylor. Taylor swinging back. Sugar goes under it and comes back in again himself. Taylor taking quite a pounding. Double team. Sugar out. Eaton stays in. There's a tag on Steve Kern, the referee arguing with Sugar. He probably didn't see it. That's what I thought. With Taylor being held, Sugar comes off the top rope, or the second rope. Steve Kern being run out by referee Paul Morton, who did not see the tag. He was busily engaged with Sugar. Taylor trying to fight his way back up. Big shoulder, and Taylor may go to the well one too many times. He does a sunset flip, but Sugar right down on top of him. Knocks him off as Jimmy Hart had the referee looking away. Carrying a small package. And the referee runs Sugar back out of there. Eaton gives it up to Sugar legally this time. Approaching the 14-minute mark in action. Taylor now going for the corner, and there's a tag on Steve Kern, but Bobby Eaton started through the rope. The referee was keeping him out again. He did not see Steve Kern. Kern about to have a piece of the referee. That's the second time he's tagged, but the referee's missed it. And Steve just says to heck with it and comes after Sugar and Eaton. He pulls. That's going to be a disqualification. 14 minutes, 23 seconds. The winners and still champions are Sweet Brown Sugar and beautiful Bobby Eaton. Disqualification, 14-23.
Boy, was that a stem winder and a half, man. I got to tell you, sometimes I like that disqualification rule, and other times I don't like the disqualification and various things. We're going to take time out. We'll be back with the World Tag Team Champions in just a moment.